The failed ambush on the jungle planet of Darnus 9. The sky was always dark green. Tall trees with glowing leaves stood like silent guards. The wind whispered through the thick fog. It was the perfect place for an ambush. The Krachna Squad, one of the best alien mercenary teams in the galaxy, had been sent there. They were strong, fast, and deadly. They had fought wars on 100 planets. No one had ever escaped their trap. But today they waited for someone new. The mission was clear. A human special forces unit was hiding somewhere on the planet. The reward? 5 million credits for each human taken down. The Krachna Squad laughed when they heard that. Only 5 humans. Easy job, their captain said. They had prepared everything. Sniper drones hovered above. Traps were set in the mud. Cloaking shields made them invisible. All weapons were charged and ready. Hours passed. The jungle stayed quiet. No movement. No sound. Then, a rustle. Just one. The squad turned their heads. "North Quadrant," whispered one soldier. They aimed their weapons. Nothing came. Just silence again. Suddenly, the sniper drone went offline. No warning. No explosion. Just gone. "What happened?" the captain asked. No answer. Another drone vanished. Then a third. The squad began to feel something they had never felt before. Fear. "Activate heat scanners," the captain ordered. But the scanners showed nothing. "Maybe they left," someone whispered. "No," said another. "They're here." One by one, the soldiers started disappearing. Not with a fight. Not with a sound. They were just gone. The captain turned around. Where there were 10 soldiers, now only 6 remained. He called out names. No answer. "Fall back," he shouted. But the path they had come from was blocked. The trees had shifted. The jungle itself had changed. Or maybe someone made it change. A shadow moved fast between the trees. Pew! A laser beam missed the captain by inches. He fired back. Nothing hit. A soldier behind him screamed. When the captain turned, the soldier was already on the ground, eyes wide open. No wound, just fear on his face. "They're ghosts," another yelled. "Shut up and fight," the captain roared. But no one knew where to shoot. They were soldiers. They had trained for years. But this was different. The last 3 tried to run. One stepped on his own trap. It exploded, throwing him into the air. Another was pulled into the fog by an invisible force. Only the captain remained. He ran through the jungle, heart racing. Behind him, he heard nothing, not even footsteps. Finally, he saw his ship. Hope filled his heart. He rushed in, locked the doors, and started the engines. But the lights inside flickered. A figure stood at the back of the ship. Tall, quiet, human. "You never saw us," the human said in a calm voice. Before the captain could speak, everything went dark. 3 days later, the captain's ship was found floating in orbit. Inside, only he remained, alive, but broken. He said nothing, just stared at the walls. When the Galactic Council asked him what happened, he only whispered, "They didn't fight us. They hunted us." The price of fear. Deep inside the mercenary city of Drellin 5, the mood was not normal. This city, floating above a black ocean on steel pillars, was home to the deadliest bounty hunters and alien warlords in the galaxy. Here, fear was rare. Violence was common. But today, silence ruled the air. Word had spread like fire. The Krachna Squad, once feared across 3 star systems, was gone. Not defeated, not captured, just erased. Only their captain returned, broken, shaking, unable to talk for 2 days. When he finally spoke, his words made even the toughest warriors stop breathing. "They hunted us like shadows. We never saw them. We never heard them." Some laughed at first. "Just human lies," one lizard-faced mercenary joked. But no one laughed when the payment offer was announced. 10 million credits. 10 million for any mercenary squad that could eliminate a single human special forces unit hiding on Xarnas 9. Yet no one stepped forward. Not a single hand raised. In the past, such a reward would start a bidding war. Mercenaries would fight each other just for the contract. But now, war rooms stayed quiet. Commanders shut down their systems. Others erased the message as soon as they saw the words Human Special Forces. One famous group, the Blood Claws, who once burned a moon just to capture one general, laughed at the job. "We are not afraid," their leader growled. He sent his best scouts ahead. They never returned. Then he sent a drone squad, 50 machines, no emotion, no fear. They vanished in 30 seconds. The only signal received was a single image. It showed one human, walking calmly through fire, untouched, like death itself. The Blood Claws refused the mission. Galactic news channels tried to interview mercenaries for reactions. None agreed. Some even paid to stay anonymous. One known warrior said only one thing: "Those are not soldiers. They are demons in human skin." Meanwhile, deep in space, on a hidden battle cruiser, a legendary warrior watched all this unfold. His name was Tyran Jacker, called the Destroyer of Voids. He had never lost a fight. He once killed a giant Kroll beast with a single strike. His name alone made small planets surrender. He smiled when he heard about the humans. "Finally, a real challenge," he said, standing up. His ship turned toward Xarnas 9. On the way, Tyran received a private message from someone unexpected. The Krachna captain. His face looked pale, his eyes empty. "Don't go," the captain whispered. "I do not take orders from the broken," Tyran said. "They will not fight you," the captain replied. "They will watch you. They will wait. Then they will end you." Tyran laughed and ended the call. He arrived at Xarnas 9. His team landed, 30 of the strongest fighters in his command. The jungle looked still. Too still. "No movement, no heat signs," said his sensor officer. "Perfect," Tyran replied. "They hide because they fear me." They moved in formation, weapons ready, armor shining. 1 minute passed. Nothing. 2 minutes. A sound came from behind. They turned. Just trees. Then someone whispered. Not through a speaker. Not through any known tech. The voice came inside their minds. "Run." Some froze. Others laughed nervously. Then the first warrior fell. His body didn't drop. It vanished mid-step, like reality swallowed him. Tyran shouted orders. "Defensive circle." They obeyed. Guns pointed in every direction. Then lights started vanishing, first from their helmets, then from their eyes, like darkness was alive. They opened fire, but there was no enemy. A soldier screamed. His scream didn't echo. It vanished in silence. Another fell, bloodless, his body frozen in fear, face twisted. Tyran roared, swinging his energy axe. He hit nothing, but the jungle screamed back. One by one, his warriors fell. Some tried to run. Some begged. Soon, only Tyran stood. He breathed hard. His weapon glowed. "Face me," he shouted into the trees. A figure appeared. Human, calm, face covered, eyes cold. "We are not your enemy," the human said. "But if you cross the line, we will be your end." Tyran charged. What happened next is still not known. Some say Tyran was taken to a secret prison. Others believe he was turned into a warning. His body placed in orbit above Xarnas 9, frozen in time, eyes wide open. After that day, the offer of 10 million credits was removed. No one dared speak the name of the human special forces again. Contracts were closed. Missions canceled. Mercenaries started choosing other jobs, easier ones, like monster hunting or asteroid clearing. Because one truth was now written across the stars. No price is high enough to fight the humans. The Survivor's Story, A week had passed since Tyran Jacker vanished on Tarnus 9. His name was whispered now, not spoken. Bounty boards removed his image. Mercenary fleets changed their routes to avoid the jungle planet. A silent fear had wrapped itself around the galaxy like a shadow no one could escape. But then, something happened. From the thick fog of Xarnus 9, a small escape pod drifted into orbit. Its hull was burned, its power was low, but it still sent one signal. Life form detected. Rescue ships from the neutral sector responded first. When they opened the pod, they stepped back in horror. Inside was a Krachna soldier. Not the captain. Not someone high-ranking. Just a young soldier. One of the many who had gone missing in the first failed mission. His body was covered in dirt. Scars ran across his skin. His eyes, they didn't blink. He stared forward like he was still trapped in that jungle. He was taken to a high-security medical station in the orbit of planet Delos Prime. Top galactic officials, warlords, mercenary captains, and even black market scientists arrived to question him. They all wanted to know the same thing. What did he see? For 2 days, he didn't speak. On the third day, under soft light and calming tones, he finally opened his mouth. His voice was quiet, dry, like dust. "It was never a battle," he said. They leaned in. "We were never in control," he continued. "They watched us from the beginning. They listened. They knew our names, our voices, our habits." "How?" someone asked. He didn't answer that. "When we walked into that jungle," he said, "we thought we were hunters. But we were already prey." He described the first few moments, how the forest seemed to whisper, how his squad joked about the mission, how confident they all were. Then the lights died. But not all at once. One by one, like someone turned off the world. He described how his friend, Zorro, disappeared, how no sound came, how the fog turned black. We tried to run, but the trees moved. We tried to hide, but something always knew where we were. One scientist asked, "Was it tech? Some cloaking system?" The soldier looked at him. "No, it was them." He stared at the ceiling. "They don't fight like us. They don't move like us. They become the air, the ground, the fear in your chest. They become everything." His heartbeat increased. Machines beeped louder. He gripped the bed. We fired everywhere. We begged. We screamed. But they were already inside our minds. They knew who would panic. They used it. He began crying. We weren't killed. We were broken. Everyone in the room fell silent. "One of them let me go," he said suddenly. Eyes widened. "Let you go," someone repeated. He nodded. He walked out of the shadows, a human. Not tall, not big, just quiet. What did he say? He said, "We are not here for war, but we are ready for it." His hands began shaking. Then he touched my forehead, and I woke up in the escape pod. A galactic commander leaned forward. "Do you remember his face?" The soldier nodded. "Yes," he whispered. "I see it every time I close my eyes." That night, the Council of 12 met in secret. This was the highest authority outside the Empire. They governed war, trade, and silence. "This is not just a unit," said one counselor. "This is a message. Earth has created something beyond control," another added. "We must investigate further." But not everyone agreed. A quiet voice spoke. "No," said the elder of the 13th system. "No more chasing shadows." "Then what do we do?" asked a younger member. The elder looked at them. "We do what every wise species must do. We stay away." Somewhere far from the council, in a black space station hidden behind a dying star, a contract was being offered. It was simple. Bring one human special forces soldier alive. The reward, 100 million credits. 10 elite hunters received the offer. 9 deleted it without opening. Only one accepted. His name was Vorak, part machine, part beast. No fear. He arrived at Starness 9 2 days later. His ship vanished 5 minutes after entering orbit. But something strange happened. A week later, his ship reappeared. It floated in space, empty. On the dashboard, a single message was burned into the glass. Don't try again. The survivor, still in the medical station, woke up screaming that night. When the doctors reached him, he was shaking. They're not defending something, he said. They're containing something. What do you mean? The doctor asked. The soldier looked around. They're not just soldiers, he whispered. They're the gatekeepers of something worse. Forbidden footage in the quiet dark of an abandoned mining outpost. Light from an old holoscreen flickered across a small group of faces. No sound, just stillness. The footage playing on the screen was not meant for public eyes. It had been stolen, hacked from a black file, buried deep in the Human Defense Archives. The one who stole it was an ex-intelligence broker named Xav, no longer working for the Council. He lived in shadows now, trading secrets for survival. When he found the file marked Operation Nightfall, Level Omega Lockdown, he knew he shouldn't open it. But curiosity is a kind of hunger. And once he watched it, he couldn't unsee it. The footage began with a wide view of Xarnus 9's jungle, taken from a stealth drone. It showed nothing at first, only trees and mist. Quiet, peaceful. Then markers appeared, 12 alien life signs, approaching from the west. Mercenaries. He zoomed in. The Krokna squad again. This was footage from their first mission, before they vanished. Sev watched as the squad moved with expert formation. They were confident, armored, alert. Then, something strange. The mist thickened unnaturally fast. In just 7 seconds, visibility dropped to 0. Their leader called out something. Audio was jammed. And then, static. Sev froze the frame. Rewound. Played again. This time, he slowed the feed down to 0.1 speed. In one frame, only one. A shape passed across the screen. Human-shaped. Upside down. Hanging from a tree. Motionless. But the next frame. Gone. Sev leaned in. His heart started pounding. He went deeper into the footage. Another moment. Another movement. A hand reaching from a shadow. No weapon. Just fingers brushing the back of an alien's neck. That alien dropped instantly. No mark. No blood. Just silence. Zeb's breath caught. The humans were not attacking with force. They were using fear, precision, timing. They weren't fighting the mercenaries. They were studying them, breaking them. Zev compiled the footage into a short reel. He sent it to one contact, an information dealer known only as Greystar, who worked with high-level commanders from over 20 alien fleets. Greystar received the message, and when she watched it, she sent out a single word to all her clients. Burn. Ships carrying data logs were destroyed. Bounty boards deleted every mention of Earth Special Forces. Commanders who still had curiosity were warned. Watch the footage, and your nightmares will begin. But not everyone listened. One of the galaxy's most powerful warlords, General Olgoth of the Zykar Dominion, demanded to see the footage. He invited his top commanders to a private screening on his war station. They watched in silence. When the reel ended, Olgoth stood. "We will capture them," he said. "We are not cowards like the rest." But one of his own generals, a veteran of 29 planetary wars, stepped forward. "Sir," he said, "I resign." "You what?" Olgoth roared. "I resign," the general repeated, "because I saw something in that footage, something not just deadly, but wrong." He left the room. 3 days later, he vanished from his transport ship. Rumor said Olgoth had him silenced. But even Olgoth didn't take the mission. He changed course, sent his fleets far from Earth's region. Back in the mining outpost, Sev knew he had seen too much. Someone would come for him, and someone did. Not with weapons. Not with ships, but with silence. His power grid failed. His air went cold. And then, a voice in the dark. You were not cleared to see that. Sev turned. A human, dressed in black armor that didn't shine. It absorbed light. Please, Sev whispered. I didn't share it. The figure tilted their head. But you watched. Why? Why do you do this? Sev asked. The human paused. Because something worse is coming. Zev's eyes widened. Worse than you? Yes, the human said. And only we are trained to face it. Why not tell the galaxy? Because the galaxy is weak. It will panic. It will betray itself. Then what is your warning? Sev asked. The human stepped closer. Stay out of our way. And then the lights went out. Sev was never seen again. Somewhere, far in the galactic dark, the original footage now sat locked again. Encrypted, buried deeper. But copies always slipped through cracks. And now, whispers spread. The humans aren't just defending Earth. They're hiding something far bigger. Governments debated. Commanders feared. But no one dared speak publicly. Because even looking into the truth might get you watched. The last challenge, on the war planet Drathmore, thunder cracked across blood-red skies. Giant stone towers shook with the sound of war drums. Inside the Grand Hall of Champions, the elders of the Ironfang clan sat in silence, waiting. This was no ordinary gathering. It had been nearly 2 decades since the Ironfangs, the most feared warrior race in the outer galaxies, had been summoned like this. They did not answer to mercenary contracts. They did not fight for credits. They fought only to test their strength, to prove their bloodline. And now someone had dared challenge their pride. A message had arrived. Not a threat. Not a warning. Just a question. Are you ready to face the humans? Most clans avoided that name now. Humans. Even saying it felt like calling a ghost. But not the Ironfangs. They laughed. We are not mercenaries, growled Grand Warlord Drask. We are born for battle. The elders agreed. And so, for the first time in years, the ritual of flame began. From every moon, every training pit, every volcano-forged fortress, the strongest warriors were summoned. 50 of them. Each had killed armies. Some had destroyed cities alone. They carried weapons powered by star cores. They wore armor blessed by dying gods. And they were sent to Darnus 9. The galaxy watched. Though no news channel officially reported it, everyone knew. The Ironfangs had accepted the challenge. Their mission: destroy the human Special Forces squad, or at least bring one back. No reward was needed. It was a matter of honor now. On the edge of Xarnus 9's orbit, the Ironfang fleet arrived like a storm. Their flagship, the Godbreaker, opened its massive gates and released drop pods into the jungle below. 50 pods. Each one landed with a quake, crushing the trees below. The jungle went silent. No response. No movement. No resistance. They run. One warrior laughed. They hide, said another. Their scanners showed no heat signatures, no life forms. Cowards, Drask growled from his command pod. They spread out. Scouts moved into different zones. Each carried a live feed camera, connected to the warlord's main screen. At first, nothing. Just vines, mud, fog. Then, strange things began. One warrior's feed suddenly cut to static. Connection error, the tech officer reported. Another followed. Must be the jungle interference, said a scout commander. But then 3 more vanished at the exact same time. No sound. No warning. Drask's eyes narrowed. Begin echo scan, he ordered. Waves of sonic pulses scanned the area. Nothing returned. No echoes. As if the jungle swallowed the sound itself. The warriors grew alert now. They changed to battle formation. Triangles, tight group movement, energy shields up. Then the whispers began. Not through speakers, but in their minds. You are not hunters here. You are just noise in the dark. A warrior screamed. He dropped his blade, fell to his knees. Another fired blindly into the mist. What is happening? Drask shouted. No one answered. One camera still worked. It showed a warrior backing up, breathing heavy. I see one, he whispered. The image was blurry, but there, at the edge of the fog, stood a figure. Not large, not armored. Just, still, a human. Calm, quiet. The warrior charged. The feed cut out. Then, one by one, the vitals dropped. 49, 48, 47, 35, 20. Drask slammed his fist. Pull them back. But no orders went through. The last signal came from a warrior named Corin. He was a beast, twice the size of a man. He had survived battles against space leviathans. His breathing was shaky. They're not just soldiers, he said into his mic. They knew us, knew our paths, our fears. His screen flickered. A shadow passed behind him. He turned. Eyes widened. They're not here to fight. They're here to erase. Static. The feed went black. An hour later, 50 Iron Fang drop pods rose into orbit. But they were empty. No bodies. No weapons. Only silence. And on each pod's metal shell, a message was burned in a human language. We gave them a chance to leave. When the pods reached the Godbreaker, Drask stood still for a long time. No rage. No roar. Just quiet. He walked to the central command and sent a message, encrypted, silent. It went to all war clans, mercenary guilds, pirate fleets. Do not engage humans. He signed it with his blood. Then he did something no Iron Fang had done in history. He removed his war mark. Across the galaxy, fear turned to respect. Not because the humans won, but because they didn't brag. They didn't send a message. They didn't ask for peace. They just returned what was left and warned the rest. Secrets of the Shadow Force. No name, no rank, no past, no future. This is how they lived. And this is how they were trained. Deep beneath the surface of Earth, far below the cities, oceans, and even the military bases, there existed a place no map showed. It was called the Hollow, a facility built before the galactic age began, long before aliens knew what humans were capable of. No one entered the Hollow without being chosen. Not even Earth's own government had full access. Inside, young children were raised, not like students, but like living weapons, orphans, rescued survivors. Some were even born inside the Hollow. They were never told their real names, only designations. Alpha 1, Delta 7, Omega 13. From the age of 5, they trained in darkness. No sunlight, no laughter, no fear. Fear was removed, burned out from the mind through endless tests. Each child was taught how to track, kill, and vanish without leaving a trace. Not just with weapons, but with silence, psychology, and shadows. They learned to read enemies without speaking, to blend into environments, to use emotions against targets. Their teachers were not human. They were ice systems, cold, fast, and ruthless. Failure in training meant punishment. Repeated failure meant disappearance. Only the strongest made it to adulthood. And those who survived were not the same anymore. They became part of Unit Eclipse, also called the Shadow Force by those who feared them. After the failed Iron Fang mission, the galaxy wanted answers. Why were these humans so dangerous? How were they trained? And who controlled them? Many believed the United Earth Defense Force was behind it. But when reporters asked, the military denied everything. We have no such unit, they said. There is no Shadow Force. But someone knew the truth. Her name was Mira Talon, once a top-level security advisor for the Intergalactic Council. She had seen classified files, ones most were never allowed to read. After retiring, she vanished from public view, living on a quiet moon colony. But when the footage of the Iron Fang disaster leaked, she knew something. And she spoke. In a secret broadcast sent across encrypted channels, Mira gave a single message. They are not soldiers. They are guardians. Earth created them long ago, not to win wars, but to prepare for one that hasn't started yet. She didn't say who the enemy was. She didn't say when the war would come. But she said something else. Something terrifying. They are not protecting Earth from aliens. They are protecting the galaxy from what lives beneath the surface of Earth itself. In hidden chambers beneath the hollow unit, Eclipse received a new briefing. Not spoken aloud. Not sent by radio. Only shown through vision, directly into their minds. A flickering image of something ancient. Something massive. Something not human. A dark shape trapped under Earth's mantle, wrapped in chains of energy. Sleeping. The soldiers of Unit Eclipse were not trained to defeat it. They were trained to keep it sealed. And that's why they could not allow alien wars near Earth. Not because humans were afraid, but because a war on Earth might wake it. The Shadow Force was not a tool. It was a wall. A last defense. Far from Earth, on a station orbiting the black star Velen 3, a meeting took place. Secret leaders from powerful civilizations gathered. They had watched the rise of the humans. They had feared their Shadow Force. But now, after Mira's message, they were afraid of something else. What is hidden on Earth? What is the Shadow Force really guarding? No one had answers. Only questions. One elder alien from the Veskar race stood up. He had lived for 600 years. He had fought ancient wars. His words were simple. If we disturb Earth, we may break the prison we do not understand. The room went silent. The vote was held. Unanimous. Earth was to be marked as a red zone. No fleets allowed. No armies sent. No wars permitted. The galaxy, with all its power, finally stepped back. But not everyone agreed. A young galactic prince, arrogant and curious, wanted more. He didn't fear Earth. He admired it. He didn't want to fight the Shadow Force. He wanted to use them. And he had a plan. One that would either make him a god or doom them all. The final warning. Far beyond the outer colonies, past the rings of the dying sun Zentax, a royal fleet glittered like a wall of stars. At the center of that fleet was the grand flagship Eternal Flame, owned by the young and daring galactic prince Kalan Dravix, heir to the empire of Halkoran. Kalan was not like other rulers. He wasn't afraid of the humans. He had studied them, watched every piece of footage, read every leaked file. Where others saw fear, Kalan saw power. They do not run from death, he once said. They'd walk beside it. To him, the Shadow Force was not a threat. It was an opportunity. And he had a plan. His idea was simple, dangerous, but simple. He would not fight the Shadow Force. He would steal one. If even one of these elite humans could be captured, studied, maybe even controlled, he could become the ruler of more than just Halkoran. He could rule the entire galaxy. So Kalan gathered the best minds of his empire. Scientists, hunters, mind weavers, soul anchors. He built a chamber made of starlight alloy, strong enough to hold the collapsing sun. And then he sent a covert team to Earth. They never returned. But Kalan expected that. It was part of his plan. He sent another team. This time, using a mimic, a bioengineered copy of a human child, designed to appear lost and helpless. The child wandered into a zone near the edge of the hollow, where normal people never went. A shadow appeared. Tall. Calm. Unit Eclipse had found the intruder, but something happened. The child exploded into a flash of blinding light, releasing a net of quantum chains. For the first time, a Shadow Force soldier was stunned. Not killed, not injured, but frozen. For 5 seconds. That was enough. The chamber activated. In an instant, the soldier was pulled across space into Kalan's ship. Success. The galaxy shook. News spread fast. Kalen had done the unthinkable. He had captured a Shadow Force operative. His empire celebrated. Some called him the Dawn Prince. Others called him foolish. But deep inside Eternal Flame, the Shadow Force soldier sat quietly in the cell. His armor cracked, eyes closed, calm. Kalen entered the chamber, looking at the soldier like a man studying fire. "You are mine now," Kalen said, "and through you, your people will serve." The soldier didn't respond. Kalen leaned in. "What are you really protecting?" he asked. Still silence. "I will find out," Kalen whispered. He turned to leave. But before he could walk away, the soldier opened his eyes and spoke. "You broke the seal." Kalen frowned. "What?" "You broke the seal," the soldier repeated. "We were not protecting Earth. We were keeping it asleep." Kalen laughed. "A myth to scare children." The soldier stood up. No chains, no noise, just motion. He stepped through the energy field like it was smoke. Alarms screamed. Weapons fired. But nothing touched him. The lights in the room dimmed. Kalen backed away. How are you?" The soldier raised his hand. "Listen carefully," he said. "Your mistake is not capturing me. Your mistake is that now it knows." "What knows?" Kalen shouted. The soldier looked up. "The old one, the thing under your feet, it is not dead. It was never dead. It sleeps and dreams, and now it is waking." Within hours, tremors shook Earth's core. Scientists across the galaxy picked up strange signals, massive pulses from the planet's inner mantle, symbols older than language, frequencies that had no known source. From deep underground, something stirred, and the sky above Earth changed color. Unit eclipse activated. All of them. They moved with urgency never seen before. They were not preparing to fight aliens. They were preparing to fight what lived under them. Kalen fled to a safe system. He sent desperate warnings to the Council. "I didn't mean to. I thought I could control." But it was too late. Something had cracked. And now, in the shadows between stars, in the places where light no longer reached, the true threat began to rise. Not human, not alien, not anything from this universe, and only the Shadow Force stood between the galaxy and extinction. On Earth, a final message was sent. A simple broadcast, translated into every known language. Do not come to Earth. Do not send fleets. Do not interfere. This is your final warning. The galaxy listened. Because now, it understood. The humans didn't want war. They had built peace. They had shown mercy. But beyond that mercy was something else. Something no one wanted to see again. Humanity's final form, when peace is broken and shadows are unleashed. The end.